This was pretty satisfying to watch. Basketball pundits had plenty to say about Caitlin Clark earlier this year, and they were particularly justifying why it was just perfectly fine to exclude her from the Olympics roster. They speculated, analyzed, and defended the decision in every way possible. But fast forward to today, and Clark has wrapped up her season with a performance that left everyone speechless. Today we're covering how those same pundits are backtracking their words, in addition to Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp's I told you so moment. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
That's exactly what I'm saying, because I think it makes a mockery of the women's game. If the focus on, now we just have to have people because of marketing and their attention, and they're not as talented, and we're not putting the best team out there.
If your only argument for Caitlin is that it would have been a great marketing opportunity and you don't have basketball experience or chemistry with the group listed in your reasoning, I don't want to hear it.
Do you truly believe eyeballs are going to tune in? People are going to be clamoring, let me get my popcorn ready to see Caitlin Clark ride the bench?
No.
But
the answer is no.
Hold up. But time out. But first of all, it's 2 points to that. Number one, we don't know if she's going to ride the bench. That's number one.
Well, Stephen, they're going to put out. They're going
to hold on, Molly. You can't ask me a question.
Okay,
Molly, I'm answering your question.
Stephen A., I'm telling you know she's not going to be one of the starting five. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know that she's not going to be one of the starting five, but I'm telling you, you have people. This world is crazy. You might have an abundance of people that's clamoring to see if she's gonna play. It's crazy out here. It's crazy.
That's right. Just a few months ago, Molly and Andrea were making all sorts of excuses for Caitlin not being picked to represent Team USA at the Olympics. They spun it as a strategic move or claimed it was about team chemistry, essentially sidestepping the fact that leaving out one of the game's brightest stars was a hard sell. It was a clear double standard because in 1996, Rebecca Lobo made it to the Olympic team, so did Diana Taurasi in 2004 and Candace Parker in 2008. I could go on with the list, but you get the point. It was a move that left many people scratching their heads as players with less impressive performances made the cut. So it's clear that this was more than just a sports decision. Thankfully, Caitlin decided to keep her head down and continue to deliver one of the most remarkable performances the WNBA has ever seen. And she finished the season on a high note, winning multiple accolades. Molly and Andrea couldn't continue hating on Caitlin because their arguments didn't make any sense. And their 180 is a sight to behold.
Here's what I'll say, and I know, Andrea, that you agree. At that point, some of us felt like maybe she hadn't proved it in the WNBA, but at this point, she certainly has. So she proved everybody wrong.
Let's talk about the guards that didn't make it. Talk about the guards that didn't make it. How they play, Andrea? Because you were one of the ones that say she didn't earn it. How did the guards play that within the Olympics? How did they play?
For sure, but we can't take how Caitlin finished the W season and pivot that to how she would have done in the Olympics. That's a completely different argument.
Look at that point. Look at how she played up until that point. Chelsea Gray had only played one game before she went to the Olympics. She was outplaying Diana Taurasi. Was she outplaying Diana Taurasi at that point in time that she was on the team? It's a simple yes or a simple no.
Was Caitlin outplaying Diana Taurasi? But you can't just factor in current play, Shannon. That's all I'm saying.
When I hear Molly and Andrea talk about Caitlin, I can't help but see the similarity to how Skip Bayless talks about LeBron. You see, Skip made a career for himself finding all sorts of reasons to criticize LeBron year after year. Maybe that's what the ladies are trying to imitate here. With that said, there is nothing more entertaining than watching a sports pundit try to wiggle out of their bad takes at the end of the season. Instead of admitting, yeah, I got it wrong, my bad, they perform the most impressive mental gymnastics routine that I've ever seen. You'll hear things like, well, technically my prediction wasn't wrong, because if you look at the stats from December, I was right. Yeah, no, you were just wrong. It's fine to just own it. And to Shannon's point, he's right. They chose Diana Taurasi, who's 42 and has already represented Team USA 6 times, over the rising star who statistically performed better than the veteran at any time in her career. I mention this because it is important not to get the facts twisted.
Shannon, hold on 1 second. Shannon,
this ain't a lifetime achievement. Olympic lifetime achievement.
Shannon Sharp, hold on 1 second. What we're saying is you guys were right. That's what we're saying. You
no,
were right.
Molly, you did not say that, Molly. No,
that is what you said.
You did not. That's not what you said, Molly.
What are you guys
That is not what you said.
I literally just brought it up.
You were talking about folks making the point that, at the time that they had picked the Olympic team, Caitlin Clark didn't necessarily deserve it based on her play on the court. When the point that Shannon and I was making at the time was that, wait a minute, in the end, there are people that have ended up on Team USA for reasons other than just their elite play at that particular moment in time.
She was a marketing whiz. Right. And she was everyone right, because she is a marketing whiz and she did it on the court. That's what I'm saying.
We were saying, no, Molly.
So you were ahead of the curve.
You're not listening. Molly, you're not listening. I'm talking about your point, Molly.
I've got to say, Stephen A's reactions are priceless when it comes to sports coverage. When the season ended, Caitlin didn't just silence her critics, she turned them into fans. She didn't just prove she belonged in the conversation, she rewrote it entirely. She was the near-unanimous Rookie of the Year pick, winning 66 of the 67 votes. She was named to the All-WNBA first team, becoming the first rookie in 6 years to earn the honor. She also finished 4th in the MVP race. I haven't even mentioned all the other records she broke, while still being a rookie. So drop a like if you think she will change the WNBA league forever. Now the best part about all of this is Caitlin didn't rub it in anyone's face. She let her game do all the talking. Her passion, skill, and sheer determination were impossible to ignore. She took the criticism, turned it into fuel, and burned through every obstacle in her path. And that is the thing about greatness. It doesn't just shut people up, it pulls them up.
This is just going to come from different perspectives, because you all's initial point was a marketing point, and that was what I was arguing with. That was what I was arguing with,
right.
The marketing point for Caitlin. What Molly is trying to say, and what I agree with, is now that we have seen how Caitlin finished this season, there is a good basketball argument for her being on the team, for her making the team. There is now a great basketball argument.
What?
But listen, no, Shannon, listen. How she's playing right now, you just said it 5 minutes ago, was a testament to the rest that she had and the break that she had. We don't know how she would have played without that break. So we're saying Caitlin has now proven herself basketball-wise, but you all weren't making a basketball argument. You weren't making a basketball argument.
We're not saying we were making a basketball argument.
Andrea, I'm not going to let you do that.
Go ahead,
Andrea, I'm not going to let you make it seem like Caitlin Clark was averaging 5 points a game. At the time, she was still averaging 16 points a game, which was more than a lot of other guards that made the team. So don't...
Saying Caitlin performed exceptionally this season just because she had a break because of the Olympics is a very weak argument and completely misses the point. Sports, especially basketball, is all about momentum. Players thrive on rhythm, chemistry, and staying in the zone. Caitlin missing out on the Olympics didn't give her some magical advantage. If anything, it disrupts the flow. While others were competing, she had to sit on the sidelines and recalibrate. Momentum isn't something you can just pause and pick up later. Athletes build it game by game, and losing it can be a major setback. I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And by the way, if you want your friends to stay in the loop, please share the video with them. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.